Wait a brand minute. One second, the show will begin. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Wait a brand minute. We'll get started in just a second. Hey, Davin. Hello from LA. I see you. Talia, I see you. What's up? Wait a brand minute. Hope King, I see you. Lynn Shelton, I see you. Daria, I see you. Kimberly, I see you. We'll get started in just a second. All right. Good afternoon. How are you? Nick Nelson, Brandprenuer here. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon here in quarantine. This afternoon, I wanted to talk to you about being a brand star, more specifically on LinkedIn. Now, what do I mean by being a brand star? I mean allowing your brand to shine in a very big and impactful way on this platform. See, one of the things that I've learned over the past 2 years that I've been here is the power of LinkedIn. Over the past 2 years, I've been able to literally, double my overall engagement, followers, and I've built a business on the back of this platform. Now, why this platform? Why LinkedIn? This platform specifically because it is an opportunity area. Think about it. Instagram has over 1 billion users. About 500 million of them are active. Facebook has over 1 billion users. About 600 or so million of them are active. LinkedIn, roughly around 600 million users. But the thing about it here is less than 1% of you actually even post anything, but there is a lot of activity here. And more specifically, especially from a B2B landscape and standpoint, this has been a platform that I have decided that, you know what, I am going to truly focus on. So what we're going to be talking about today is how to be a LinkedIn star and how you can use some of the things that I've leveraged and even some of the mentality that I've leveraged in terms of a strategic standpoint to get noticed and to sell yourself and your business online. So, one second. Let's get into some of the comments. Veronica from San Diego. Hey, how you doing? Morgan was with me on yesterday where we talked about style and image in quarantine. So definitely reach out to her. She's a wonderful stylist. Derek Daniels, I see you. Melisha, I see you. Phyllis, I see you. All right. And Misha, I see you live and direct from Baltimore. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, what do I mean by being a brand star? Before we do, I need you to let me know if you're team live or team replay, because that helps me to get an understanding and gauge, is this time frame a good time frame for this particular program, or should I do it differently? It just helps me to understand the engagement. So definitely team live, team replay, please let me know. So a star is born. Let's talk about that real quick. Before you can engage effectively as a brand on LinkedIn, you have to find your brand. Back in the day, you see, I have my Dookie Gold chain on. I am hip hop, right? Grew up with hip hop. Foundationally, it's a part of my life. It's a part of my DNA. Even at my ripe old age of 48 years old, I am hip hop. And so, one of the things about an MC, an MC, they had to find their brand. Now, what does that mean? You had MCs like MC Shan or MC Heavy D, or, it would be their moniker, right? Their moniker would be the name that represented who they were. It's what differentiated them from the next person. What I want you to do, you don't necessarily have to have a moniker. Your moniker could be your name, right? You don't have to have something like Brandprenuer or anything like that. But let's just simply say your name, right? That is your hip hop name, all right? But it's the brand, it's something that you want people to, when they think of you, you want to be intentional in terms of making them and directing them how to feel. MCs had to find their voice. They had to find what it is that they wanted to talk about. Some MCs were the party MC. We just talking about a party. Other MCs were, you know what? My life is not a party. I live in the projects. I'm from the hood. I'm from the streets. I'm going to be a reporter for my hood and talk about my environment, right? Some MCs like Big Daddy Kane, you know what? He was the ladies' man, right? And they all had to find their voice. As a brand, you must find your voice. Now, what do I mean by becoming a brand? Let's start there. Before we do, let's dig into the comments real quick. All right, y'all are with me. I see you. Okay. A brand is two things and two things only. And I'm always say this. It's what do you want to be known for and how do you want to make people feel? Being known for something and making people feel a certain way is a brand. Any MC, any specific brand, period, they will represent something, right? They will say, I want you to know me for this one thing, and I'm going to make you feel a certain way, right? Now, when it comes to their voice was their lyrics. It was what it is they talked about and how they did it, how they projected themselves. Your voice for social media is your content. See, the content ultimately helps to tell the story of you. It brings you to life. What we're going to talk about a little bit today is in terms of, what do you need to do in terms of bringing you to life, and how do you make that happen through your voice, just like an MC did with his or her rhymes. You have to tell a story. Nowadays, we are as storytelling individuals. People say, you know what, Nick, people won't sit down and watch 5 minutes of content. People won't sit down and watch 7 or 8 minutes of content. That's a lie. You know how I know? Because many of you have sat down and watched over 2 hours of content. That's called a Marvel picture, right? Man, some of y'all get so into it, you won't even use the restroom. You had all the popcorn and had all your soda, etc. You sitting there, just like this, right? Because you're so into it. Let me tell you something. If you take a storytelling approach to your content, people, it not only allows them to get an understanding of your energy and who you are, but they will sit there just like this, looking and engaging with you, right? But you have to learn how to tell a story. All right. 1 second. MCs told their stories through demo tapes. You see, they would get in the basement, they would practice their lyrics, and then ultimately they had to put together a demo if they wanted to get found. Let me tell you something. I put on demo tapes every single day. You know what that demo tape is? It's called your content, right? The demo tape is what people used to get discovered. Think about this. You being active, you posting, you articulating your brand, letting people know what you do, letting people know what you want to be known for, and getting them to understand how you want to make them feel. Telling your story, doing it through creative ways. I know some of y'all laughed at me with the little promotional video of me singing and stuff like that, although I really can't sing, but it's something that just going to make you stop, right? Sometimes you have to be daring. Sometimes you have to say, you know what? I'm just going to take it there, and whatever happens, happens. But fortune favors the bold. And with fortune favoring the bold, you have to walk boldly in your brand and put yourself out there. You have to put yourself out there for people to see. All right, I'm having a little trouble looking at the comments. Give me 1 second. This is what happens sometimes with LinkedIn. You just gotta roll with it. All right, here we go. Yes, Veronica. Demo tape equals your content. That's exactly what I want you to walk away with. All right. Every day I put out a demo. Now, the thing about your demo is you want to pass it around. You want to pass it hand to hand to people. That's what they did back in the day, right? Instead of passing it out hand to hand to people, what we're doing now is we're posting it. See, with content, it's a numbers game, right? It's a numbers game. Some of you will put your content out there, and then it'll be a week, 2 weeks before you say anything else. It's consistency that wins the day, right? It was that MC that will put out the demo, then they go do the show, then they be on the street corner rapping or what have you, because all it takes, guess what, is one. What do I mean by one? I tell myself every single day, and you should also, I'm one post away. I'm one relationship away from my life being drastically changed. Paul Brunson, I was watching his cast a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about how he had this YouTube channel that had a dating show that he put together that only his mama watched. Well, guess what? His mama and one other person ended up watching. That other person was Oprah. Immediately, life changed. You have to put yourself out there consistently and frequently, because people will never know how great you are if they never hear your demo. All right. Yes, consistency is key. How can a fresher build their personal brand? And this is Hadik. A fresher can build their personal brand by taking baby steps. You don't have to do the most immediately. If, putting out a news article is what makes you comfortable before you put out a picture of yourself or a video, then do that. But don't just put the article out there and let it fly. No, add your context to it, right? I call that the Stephanie Sample methodology. If you get a chance, look her up, Stephanie Sample. You will see on her LinkedIn profile, it's nothing but her resharing articles, but she always has her context and she's very specific. She is a woman in STEM advocate, and everything will be aligned there. There's consistency, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that was an excellent question. Now, I'm going to tell you the problem that 80% of you have. You've got your demo tape, right? You know what you're going to say. You've been writing your lyrics in the notepad. You got it together. And You get stage fright. You get stage fright. What do I mean by that? You sitting there, you've done your video, and you're looking at it, and then you immediately get in your head, and you're like, "No, I ain't gonna post it. No, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna post it. No, I ain't gonna do it. Mm-mm. What will people say? What will people say?" That's what you think, right? And then all of a sudden, you act safe, or you don't say anything at all, right? Stage fright in your audition. Your audition is right now. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna even go ahead and tell you, I'm auditioning, right? What do you mean, Nick, by your auditioning? I don't know who all is out there. I don't know where the next opportunity is, right? But if I connect with somebody and they connect with me and they know of an opportunity or have heard of an opportunity, guess who they'll think of? That person who decided to get on stage, that person who decided to be bold and be different and memorable, right? Because I didn't have social media stage fright. Don't have social media stage fright. Learn how to say these two words. This is the open sesame to your brand. F it. Any great person has ultimately had to say hashtag F it. Because when you say it and you unleash that, you unleash the monster. You unleash the energy. You unleash your full self, and you bring all of that to the table. And all of a sudden, people in the audience, they see you perform and they acknowledge how great you are. But they'll never know if you never say anything. Let's get into the comments for a second. Got to get out of your way. That's a right, Tamia. Self-sabotaging at its finest. Self-sabotage. You know what I hate? I hate self-sabotage, and I hate self-defecation. People who put them out, you don't even give people the opportunity to put you down. You'll put your own self down. What kind of foolishness is that? If there's anybody in this world that needs to be on your team, guess who it needs to be? You. If there's anybody in this world who thinks that they are the greatest, who should it be? You. Right? Any great MC, they were unafraid. LL Cool J would do his thing right here and rock the bit. The brother was unafraid, right? He said, go say LL and do the WAP. He challenged you. He knew how great he was, right? If you know how great you are, I'm not saying be arrogant. I'm saying be confident. I'm saying be unapologetic about it. I'm saying be bold. That's what's wrong with many of us Gen Xers and above, especially those in corporate, because you're told if you put yourself out there, you're not being a team player. If you put yourself out there, you're showing off. Well, how about if you don't put yourself out there? No one will ever know how excellent you are. Me at times. You're right. Team you do not have social media stage fright. That's right, Monique. That's right. You got it. See, y'all are getting it. Y'all are getting the hang of what we're saying today. All right. Ultimately, because it's a numbers game, if you are consistent, you will get that record deal. Now, once you get the record deal, what do you have to do? You have to produce, because as soon as you got that deal is as soon as you will lose it. So Let's talk about being a LinkedIn brand star. Being a LinkedIn brand star is understanding how to leverage the platform to your advantage to get noticed by those whom you can help or who can help you. To make friends online. Friends online here is, and let's be very clear, it's not the same as friends in person, right? It's not your circle of 5, right? It ain't your close friends. Friends online is simply this. You like and comment on my stuff. I'll like and comment on your stuff. Let's be friends. That's all it is. That's all it is. And then once you begin that rapport, then you build relationship. You build know, like, and trust, which ultimately can extend offline. But if you don't put anything out there, if you don't like and comment, if you don't interact and interface with all of these incredible people out here, they'll never know you exist. All right. Digging into the comments, you guys are active, man. Do you suggest having a few people or a team to review your content before you put it out there? All right. Having somebody, a second set of eyes is always good. Lord knows I wish I had more second sets of eyes. But the thing about it here is why I love you guys so much is you'll be like, Nick, you missed a word. I'll be like, man, you sure right. Thanks for the heads up. Let me edit it real quick. Right. But yes, because especially when you have a lot of frequency and when you're doing it, you start to just miss stuff. And as little as a period or a wrong word is, it's a small mistakes. People, let me tell you something. People are petty. They really are. And they're judgmental. And you don't want to turn off the one because of little errors and things of that nature. So if you have a team, yes, leverage them, but don't let your team stop your momentum, right? If you need it, use Grammarly. Lord knows I do. I'm a Grammarly advocate, right? If you don't use Grammarly, please use it. All right. But don't let your team get in your way. All right. How do you get stuff out there? That's Zachary. And we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Morgan, what type of content performs the best? Video or articles? Let me tell you something. There is no content, and I missed one of the slides, and I'm going to step back for a second. When we're talking about content, content is 3 things and 3 things only. It's images, it's words, and it's video. Content is images, words, and video, or a combination of all 3. Out of all of those, video, there's nothing like it. And I'm going to tell you the reason why there's nothing like video. The example that I leverage is, 1 second. This is me and my mother. That's me, Cool Nick, at about 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. Now, as cool as the image is, as much as I love it, I don't know what my personality was other than, that. I don't know how I spoke. I don't know phrases. I don't know the energy quite. You know what I'm saying? But with my son, I've been videotaping him since he came out of the womb. Let's be clear. He will always understand what his energy was. He will always feel it, right? Video helps with energy. But some of you aren't quite there yet. And I understand. But if you really want to be a LinkedIn brand star, you got to get there. Video is 2 things. It's content and it's capture. I do content because I'm a content creator. Don't feel you got to do all this editing stuff. Stick the phone in your face. It's about your energy, what it is you're saying. Yes, there are some things that you can do to make it look better. But I've seen shaky cam. I've seen bad lighting. And I've seen those posts get thousands of likes because of what they were saying and the energy. Content is images, words, and video. Yes. Kristen, I am going to have some training regarding the details of content. I'm actually going to start doing that next week, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. All right, so the most important area of your profile, and that's what we're getting into, is your LinkedIn profile. You see that section over there that says search appearances. All right. Search appearances is how many people did your profile or feeds did your profile go into over the past week? Now, there are a lot of driving factors to that, but one of the most, and here's funny, LinkedIn will tell you themselves. To improve future search appearances show the number of times you appeared in search results on LinkedIn. Stats are only visible to you and will not be shared with others. Want to improve your stats or be found with different keywords? Make sure your profile is updated with the most recent information. The number one reason why you are not getting search appearances on LinkedIn is because your profile ain't updated. It's not. It's not optimized. Dig on that. Now, what do we mean by optimizing your profile? Let me get in the comments real quick. Make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. Make your profile visually appealing. There's an area at the very top, and that area at the very top is where you can add pictures, images, or what have you. Write this name down, Canva. That's called Canva. That is the most important branding tool that you will use right now. Go to YouTube, type in Canva, and learn it. While you're on quarantine, if you are not using it and you're trying to do something branding wise and you don't want to come out of pocket and pay all these graphic designers all this ridiculous amount of money, do it your brand self, right? Learn a skill. If you don't learn any other tool, learn Canva. But you can create images, etc. Next thing, get a decent image of yourself. And you know I'm all about image. Your profile image talks about your energy. Nick, why don't you have a smiley profile image? I ain't always the smiley type of guy, right? And I had to realize that. And there's a certain sort of intensity with my energy because I'm intense, because I'm passionate about this, right? Because I am walking and living in purpose. And when you're there, people have to feel your energy. So your image should not be a you in your car with the seatbelt over here. Your image should not be the one that you thought that night that you were a little cute and you thought you looked cute and it's blurry and it might be at a gala or something like that and it's half your face. No. If it ain't me, find somebody who can help you. Or if anything, take this iPhone, find you a good picture window, put something that you feel good on, and take the picture or have somebody do it for you. I'm not even saying you got to spend a whole lot of money, but it has to be clear and it has to be you. List what you want to be known for in the headline. Right underneath Nick F. Nelson, Brandprenuer, you will see key words. Your headline on LinkedIn is the most important part of your profile that you are mismanaging. This is what brings up search results. What you place in here. Some of you are writing a whole dissertation that makes no sense in your headline. Keywords. If you can't hashtag it, it does not need to be in your headline. Hashtagable words. Hashtag CEO. Hashtag brandpreneur. Hashtag personal branding. Hashtag strategist. Hashtag headshot photographer. Hashtag, you get the drill. You get the drill. That's the what you want to be known for. If that is not in your headline, as soon as you finish with this, you immediately go to your profile and fix that. After you figure out what you want to be known for and how you want to make people feel. The about section is the other area where many of you need some improvement. The about section is not your CV. The about section is not what the person who introduces you on stage says. Let me help you out. It details who you are. It details what you do. It details who you do it for. And it details what makes you special. Put it in a storytelling format. Put it in an editorial context. Make it like a young lady's dress. Long enough to cover the subject, but short enough to make it interesting. I learned that from my English teacher, by the way, right? Long enough to cover the subject, but short enough to make it interesting, right? You want to give people an understanding of who you are, but brevity is important because we ain't got time and ain't nobody trying to read a whole lot of stuff. Comments. Yes, keep your profile updated, Zachary. Never knew the importance of a headline. Yes, Sabrina, the headline is the most important thing you have. Pick Monkey, Sabrina. I've never used Pick Monkey before, but I'll try it out. I'm a Canva king. I'm stuck on it. It's gonna be hard to get me to switch because it does. Canva does photos and video. Many of you wonder how some of these individuals are creating these social media, videos with the words up top and the words at the bottom. Hashtag Canva. It does video. I recommend that you get the pro subscription of it. All right, let's keep it going. Post and comment on some brand content. In order to be seen on LinkedIn, you actually have to post. There's a little section in there that's called activity. You'll see in my section that there have been some people that I've said, hey, you know what? I've commented on them. There's my girl, Kristen. She just became, a trustee at the Florida A&M University, one of the greatest schools on the planet, by the way. Congratulations. But I don't just post and ghost. I actually engage with people because the key to unlocking networks on LinkedIn, write this down, memorize it, understand it. If someone likes and comments on your post, you've just unlocked the door to their network. So now their network can see your post. That's the way LinkedIn works. Like and comment, your network is shared. If another person likes and comments on your stuff, their network is shared. And people who have never seen you before see you. Even in your post, feel free to say and instruct people. Don't be afraid to instruct people what to do. That's called a call to action in marketing terms. Please like and comment on the post if you agree. Like and comment, like until it becomes second nature for people, or you begin building a tribe who's just going to do that anyway. Looking in the comments real quick, want to make certain I'm getting in. All right, good stuff. Thank you all for joining. Let me thank some of you. Joy, thank you. My man, Sean Payton. Sean is an incredible financial advisor. Check him out. Renee, thank you so much. I appreciate you for joining. My man, Robert Hazard, that's my guy. He's a part of my tribe too, and I'm a part of his. We support each other. See, and that's the beautiful thing about making friends on LinkedIn, because that's one of the fastest ways to become a brand star is to be a part of a tribe and build a tribe. Being a part of a tribe and build a tribe. We're tribe building here, and that's what makes you a star here on this platform. Lastly, the thing that you want to do here is provide visible credibility. Visible credibility is important because if I see it, I believe it. So you can have all this stuff on your headline all you want to, but until people see it with their own brand eyes, it's hard for them to believe. There's a featured section within LinkedIn where you can take that post, that video that you're so proud of, and you can pin it at the top. So when a person goes to your profile, they can see your best work. They can see examples of you in action. They can see what you think about. It helps to form a narrative. The other thing that you're not doing that I recommend you do is ask for recommendations, right? And provide recommendations. See, recommendations are another way of providing visible credibility and the experience of you. People don't want to have to direct message you. They want to be voyeuristic. You want to be voyeuristic, right? You want to contact a person when you feel like, okay, I'm ready to talk, not a moment before, right? How do I know? This is the way a call typically goes for Nick. Hello, how are you? Hey, Nick, this is so-and-so. I've been watching you for over a year now. I've been watching you for months. It ain't the first post. It ain't the second post. It ain't the third post. It ain't the fourth post, fifth, sixth, seventh. That's why I say it's a numbers game. It's consistency, right? Because it's finding your rhythm, and it's the intersection of opportunity and content, right? That's why it's so important. But visible credibility is what I tell the person that says, Nick, I desire to be a public speaker. I want to get speaking engagements. How can I get a speaking engagement? How about you speak? Huh? How about you put a video camera in front of your face and you show yourself speaking? See, every day is the opportunity to have a speaking engagement. It just might not be a paid one, right? Until it is. Until it is. Visible credibility through your content leads to opportunities. It leads to networks. It leads to tribe building. It leads to becoming a brand star. Let me get into some of the comments again, and I'm running a little long, but I just wanted to talk to you. Thank you so much for the comments. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. In order to be a brand star, you've got to not have social media stage fright. You have to understand who you are, what you do, who you do it for, what are your superpowers. And that means understanding what you want to be known for and how you want to make people feel. You have to practice, right? Practice. Any MC spent time perfecting their rhymes. They got their notebook out. They wrote the stuff out, and then they performed. They put together their demo tape and they auditioned. Your demo tape and auditioning is your content. Feel free to do it every day or on a consistent basis. Not just on LinkedIn, but there are other platforms as well. Leverage them, use them, be comfortable with them. They put that demo tape out there because they understood that it's a numbers game with LinkedIn and with sales in general, because you're selling yourself. It is a numbers game. But the only number that's important, and I need you to recognize and remember this and put this in your brain, is 1. All it takes is the right one to change your whole brand life. All right, let's look into the comments real quick. We'll talk about what's happening next week. Zachary, thank you for the information. Robert, yes, recommendations are important. A good time of day of engagement. That's a question that Morgan just texted me. That's a very good question. I don't know how many of you fish. Okay. But those who fish understand that the best time to fish is in the morning, not just anytime in the morning, early in the morning, right? Because that's when fish are most active, or when the sun goes down. That's when I tend to post. I want to be a part of your morning ritual because most of you get on your phone before you even brush your teeth. It is my objective, the same way that you tune it in to CNN, the same way you tune it in to Good Morning America, the same way you're checking your Facebook profile or your Instagram profile. It's like, let me see what Nick's doing today. Let me see what he's talking about today, right? The morning, Morgan. The morning is the best time. Now they have algorithms that can show approximate day parts, etc. I ain't got time for all that. I really don't. I got too much stuff to do. I have too many clients to take care of. But what I can do is be consistent, right? They say the best time to work out is in the morning is because you know what, your body is on empty, etc. The morning time is a magical time. I know many of you are not morning people, but it's worked for me. Next week, Brandprenuer, making the brand. Making the brand is where I go behind the scenes of an actual brand, and I give my context on it. Let you know what was in my mind, the real. Okay, Brand Day. Of course, our Brand Day series will have a new one next week. Ask Brandprenuer. Kristen, this goes into the question. I'm gonna teach y'all how to make to make content next week. Like literally teach you, do a webinar where you see my process in terms of how I do it. Because I get asked a lot of questions. I'm even teaching some people how to do it. But I'm going to just give you a high level so you can kind of see, just what goes in my brain and what you can leverage. And what many of you will realize and come to an understanding of is that I don't want to create content. I just want to capture. It is time consuming. And I would rather you spend time focusing on your business, focusing on selling, focusing on building relationships than spending hours upon hours building content. But sometimes, you know what? I got to prove it to you. So fine, I'm going to prove it to you. Ask Brandprenuer. You can ask me any question you have about content creation, things of that nature. We're going to answer it next week. And then also next week, I'm in the process of finalizing my very first cohort where I will be inviting people to apply to be a part of a cohort where I'm taking 7 to 10 people, and it's a month-long intensive where I'm a pledge you. I'm a part of a fraternity. And there was nothing like my pledge experience. My pledge experience changed my entire life. I know we really ain't supposed to call it pledging right now. Let me tell you something. At Florida A&M University, I pledged. Well, you are meeting your new dean of pledgees. As a part of Ask Brandprenuer, in frat life, they used to call it a smoker. We're going to have a good old-fashioned informational session next Thursday, 12 noon, where you can ask me questions about being on brand line, right? Because in April, I'm pledging 7 to 10 people. And within that time frame, you will be a brand, and you will not just be a brand, you will be amazing. And so that's what we're working on also. We'll have more information about that. And of course, Fridays, 3 p.m., wait a brand minute. One last time before we get up out of here. Yeah, it's membership intake. That forgot. Thank you, Aish. It's membership intake. There is no intake with Brandprenuer. We pledge. Let's be clear. All right. Nick, how can I get the link to your show for my son? If you, for the replay, just come back to my profile, the replay will be up there, and please direct your son there. And please, I love talking to people, and I love talking to you. If you want to get in contact with me, brandprenuer.com/10-minute talk, or 10 men talk, I should say. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'd love to engage with you. Feel free to direct message me. Direct message works very well for me. But right now, I understand that many people are thinking about what's next for me post Corona. I'd love to be your thought partner in terms of post Corona and what's there for you, because this is what I'm built for. This is what I do. You do what you do, and you do it very well. I do this. So, one last minute before we get up out of here. Um, Indra, you've never been pledged. Come see me. I'd love to. I'd love to pledge you. Zachary, your line number was 2. My line number was 14, right? My line name was Sugar Hill, by the way, right? But I do have an actual line name. Anybody who has pledged, you will understand that you probably have 2 line names, one that you will never reveal, and the other one that is public knowledge. So, thank you for joining us today. As I always do, I love rocking with you. I want to rock with you one last time if we can, because music is my thing. And you know, it's what frees me. Everybody has their thing. Music has always been mine. So I appreciate you for joining me for Wait a Brand Minute. I'm gonna let it rock for a little bit. Feel free to just mingle in the chat, and I'll even mingle with you for a little bit. But have a great afternoon. Have a great brand weekend. Do your brand thing and stay your brand behind at home. There's a virus outside. Be good.